In the quiet sound of Bow River and the golden needs of the fall, I find the quiet moment to share my story with you all. This is the Soaring Tales. I'm Shivangi, and I can't wait to share my story with you all. Based on the amazing response to my first episode on Egyptian vultures, I thought that some of you might be curious about what do I do, what's my story, and what did I do to end up living in Canada and do what I do today. So, I am Dr. Shivangi Mishra, a postdoctoral researcher at the Arctic Institute of North America, University of Calgary, Canada, and I work on Arctic Genomics project that focuses on applying genomics and DNA-based tools for the co-management of Arctic biodiversity and wildlife. In this role, I bring my expertise in conservation biology, community engagement, and science communication. I work on building meaningful partnerships with Indigenous communities and organizing stakeholder dialogues and translating complex science and genomics concepts into practical applications that supports environmental stewardship and indigenous food sovereignty. Now, I'll talk about my journey in India. When I was in high school, I often wondered that why does a biology student has to become a medical doctor or a maths or computer student has to become an engineer? And those always seem to be the only two paths everyone talked about. And some of you might resonate with me on this. But deep down, I used to think that I have to do something different, yet meaningful. So as I grew up, I, I realized that we need more people to work on wildlife and biodiversity and to work as a steward of Mother Nature. And I thought that I should do something along my passion. And so I pursued all my academic career from Department of Zoology, University of Lucknow. I did my undergrad with zoology, botany, and chemistry, and then my master's on zoology. And then later on, worked on Egyptian vultures from the Biodiversity and Wildlife Conservation Lab, Department of Zoology, University of Lucknow. But before beginning my PhD research, I have worked for a couple of years on the butterflies project, which was funded by UP State Biodiversity Board. And I thought that before starting a big journey, let's work and think about where my passion goes along. And so, working on butterflies of Uttar Pradesh, I realized that this is what I am passionate about, and this is what I want to do in my career. And I decided to take my PhD journey ahead. And later on, my PhD was focused on the conservation of globally endangered Egyptian vultures in India, in Uttar Pradesh, which is one of the largest provinces of India. From butterflies to Egyptian vultures, my journey has always been in understanding and protecting the interconnected life that sustains us. Throughout this journey, with Hanuman Ji's blessings, I have been honored with several international and national awards like William C. Anderson Award in South Africa, James Copeland Travel Grant in Colorado, and Wings to Fly Award from the Raptor Research Foundation, USA. And I am a member of Raptor Research Foundation since 2018 when I first presented in the annual conference of Raptor Research Foundation in Kruger National Park, South Africa. I have also published two books, one that I authored entitled An Introduction to Majestic Egyptian Vultures. And the other one is an edited book, which is about the folklores and on the folklore connect wildlife and biodiversity. Throughout my research journey, I have always believed that science should not be just in the academic circles, but it should reach beyond the academic circles and not just for the scientists and the researchers, but also for the common people, because it is about the life that connects us all. And so, because of that, I try to publish. I have got my articles published in wildlife magazines like Savers and magazines like Science Reporter and some newsletters from UP State Biodiversity Board. And what I have realized is that the greatest reward has always been in the stories I have witnessed and the changes I have seen. So, after submitting my PhD thesis in 2021, and before even my PhD defense, I was offered a position of assistant professor of zoology at JCRC University, Jaipur. And it was one of the special moments. And for me in my life, because I have always used to think I have to inspire the future generation. And that was an opportunity to connect with the students and spark that curiosity about wildlife, about nature conservation. And to be honest, one of the greatest rewards for me is like that amongst those students, there are some who are pursuing their career in wildlife research. Another special moment from that time in JCRC University is that I was selected one amongst the four women chosen to represent the Jaipur chapter in the Women's Science Congress at the Indian Science Congress 2023 in Nagpur. And it was very special, another special moment, because that's how I realized that how wonderful it is that women in science are sharing their stories and supporting each other. Everything was going well in my teaching journey, but deep down, I had this quiet dream. I have always thought about doing a postdoc after my PhD. And this was one of my three secret dreams that I think everyone has their own wish. So it was one of my wishes. And with Mahadev Ji's blessings, I was selected at the Arctic Institute of North America as a postdoctoral associate in this project. And it was like a dream came true moment for me. And we know that Arctic is facing the climate change pressure more than any other regions on the earth. And here I work on connecting genomics with indigenous knowledge for the co-management of Arctic biodiversity. The Arctic is facing this challenge, right? That act by combining not science and innovation, we can make it. The aim to let you know that together we can make a difference. So, if you are passionate about wildlife, about Mother Nature, and you think that nature's stories are worth telling, then please join with me in this and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Together, let's soar into incredible tales from the wildlife of India to the icy landscapes of the Arctic. Thank you for watching the Soaring Tales. Stay curious, stay inspired, and see you in my next episode on a very special topic I am currently on. Bye.